1800 hours, Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Aisha Nayab. The headlines. Federal Cabinet has approved enactment of an ordinance to award strict punishment to perpetrators of rape cases against children and women. Pakistan and Oman have agreed to enhance relations in diverse fields with particular emphasis on economic dimensions. China has reiterated its full support to the Gwadar Ports project for its greater role in trade and goods transition in the region. Security forces have neutralized a major terrorist network and killed 2 terrorist commanders in an intelligence-based operation in Bajor. Pakistan says it will continue exposing India and not let the world community be misled by its propaganda. Pakistan has called on the United Nations Security Council to prevent India from carrying out its criminal colonial project to change demography of illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. And now the news in detail. Federal Cabinet has approved enactment of an ordinance to award strict punishment to perpetrators of rape cases against children and women. Giving briefing to media about decision taken by the Federal Cabinet, which met in Islamabad today with Prime Minister Imran Khan in the chair, Minister for Information and Broadcasting Senator Shibli Farah said the Prime Minister directed to the Law Ministry to finalize provisions of the proposed ordinance. The Minister said acts of gang rape has also been inserted in the proposed law, in which harsh punishments including death penalty to the offenders of rape have been prepared. He said the law will be a deterrent against incidents of rape. Syed Shibli Farah said the cabinet also improved establishment of information technology economy parks in Islamabad, Lahore, Peshawar, Karachi and Quetta. Pakistan and Oman have agreed to enhance relations in diverse fields with particular emphasis on economic dimensions. The consensus was reached during the 7th session of Pakistan-Oman bilateral political consultations that was virtually held today. The Pakistan delegation was led by Foreign Secretary Suhail Mahmood, while the Omani side was led by Under Secretary Sheikh Khalifa bin Ali bin Isa Al Harathi. Pakistan conveyed appreciation for Oman's support at the United Nations, OIC and other international forums. The Pakistan side highlighted India's unilateral actions in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir and egregious violations of human rights in the disputed territory. Ambassador of Jordan and Afghanistan separately called on Speaker National Assembly Asad Kaisar in Islamabad today. Talking to Jordanian Ambassador Major General retired Ibrahim Yala al-Madani, the speaker said relations between Pakistan and Jordan are based on strong foundations of religion, brotherhood, culture and history. He stressed the need for enhancing the bilateral trade, which does not commensurate the existing economic potential on either side. Later talking to Afghan Ambassador Najibullah Al-Khail, Asad Kaisar said Pakistan seeks further enhancement of cooperation with Afghanistan for economic and regional development. He said that signing of MOUs on long-term trade and investment agreements between the two countries will further boost trade and investment. Afghan ambassador acknowledged that excellent trade opportunities exist between the two countries that would be further utilized for mutual benefit. As the second wave of COVID-19 being witnessed in the country, 48 more people died of coronavirus during the last 24 hours. According to the latest statistics, 2,954 tested positive for COVID-19 during the last 24 hours after the test of 39,165 people. The figure of patients recovered from the pandemic has reached 331,760. There are now 40,379 active cases in the country. China has reiterated its full support to the Gawada Ports project for its greater role in the regional cooperation on trade and goods transition. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Zhao Lijiang, during a media briefing in Beijing today, said that China supports the greater role of the port, an important component of China-Pakistan economic corridor, and we are glad to see the new progress. Zhao Lijiang said that facts have proven that China-Pakistan economic corridor has not only delivering benefits to Chinese and Pakistani people, but has also facilitated the regional connectivity and economic cooperation. Gawada Port for onward shipment to China. The security forces have neutralized a major terrorist network and killed 2 terrorist commanders in an intelligence-based operation on a hideout near village Tangi in Bajor district. According to ISPR, during close encounter with the security forces, terrorist commanders Zubair and Azizur Rahman alias Fida were killed. They were involved in a number of terrorist incidents against law enforcement agencies, government officials and innocent civilians. Counter-Terrorism Department foiled a terrorist attack on CTD police station Burki Road in Lahore today, killing a suicide bomber. According to the CTD spokesman, the terrorist opened fire when he was asked to identify himself during his attempt to enter the police station. The security official retaliated, killing the attacker on the spot. This is Radio Pakistan. Pakistan says it will continue exposing India and not let the world community be misled by its propaganda. Foreign Office spokesperson Zahid Hafiz Chaudhry in a statement today urged the world community to act on the dossier presented by Pakistan with incontrovertible evidence of Indian state sponsorship of terrorism. Regarding the reported briefing to a group of foreign envoys at the Indian Ministry of External Affairs on the so-called attempted terrorist attacks in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, the spokesperson said the Indian government has escalated its anti-Pakistan campaign marked by false narratives, concocted evidence and orchestration of false flag operations. In Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, the realization of fighting a futile war against the entire population of the disputed territory has landed Indian forces personnel posted in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir in a morale crisis. A report released by Srinagar-based research section of Kashmir Media Service today said that the phenomenon of committing suicide among the troops shown an upward trend, with 38 soldiers taking their life this year so far in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir as against 16 in 2019. As many as 481 Indian troops have committed suicide this territory since January 2007. Pakistan has called on the United Nations Security Council to prevent India from carrying out its criminal colonial project to convert occupied Jammu and Kashmir's Muslim majority into a minority. Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi, in a letter to the Security Council President for the current month, said it is the 15-member body's direct responsibility to do this under the United Nations resolutions. The foreign ministers drew the UNSC President attention to highly concerning developments in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, grave human rights violation, illegal demographic changes and escalating threats to peace and security. He said that since India's illegal annexation of Kashmir on 5th August 2019, New Delhi has been implementing a well-planned strategy of military occupation, land confiscation and creation of an alien settlements in the disputed territory. International donors have pledged to provide billions of US dollars in aid to Afghanistan. Dozens of donors at a conference in Geneva hope that peace negotiations recently begun between the government and the Taliban will result in ending 2 decades of war. They said Afghanistan could receive 15 to 20% less funding than the roughly 15.2 billion US dollars pledged at the last conference in Brussels in 2016 due to uncertainties over the peace process. Pakistan has strongly condemned the missile attack by Houthi militants at a petroleum distribution terminal in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. In a statement, the Foreign Office spokesperson Zahid Hafiz Chaudhry called for immediate cessation of such incidents violating the kingdom's territorial integrity. And finally, the weather. Rain with snowfall over the hills is expected in Potohar region, upper and central Punjab, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Gilgit-Baltistan and Kashmir during the next 24 hours. However, cloudy weather is likely to prevail in most parts of the country. And that is the end of the news. For more news and analysis, log on to our website radio.gov.pk and also watch live video streaming of our bulletin on the link facebook.com Radio Pakistan News Official.